Some of you may have seen this image right here before you, and it was attached, or it is attached to a video that has since gone viral. Now, in DC, close to where I live at, there has been a range of marches and protests going on between Saturday and Friday. On Friday, they had a rally for life, which is basically the I guess it's like an it's like a pro-life event. And I noticed, and I know that at one of my jobs, they actually have like a pre-service that happens there, and it's every year, it's annual. And they when they have that particular event, it's usually in the morning, and then they go to the actual rally itself afterwards. They also had something called the Indigenous March. I think this is their first year doing it. I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure. And then, of course, they had the Women's March today on Saturday. And then they also had another protest about the government shutdown. So it was a lot of protests and marches going on in and around the capital area in DC. So if you were traveling in that area, it was probably best you rode the metro, because it was no way you were going to drive in that part without detouring, or it would have just been safer for you to not travel through that area by car, whether you were in a cab or in your own car or Uber or Lyft. But anyway, this, like I said, this video has gone viral, and right here you see a man on the right. His name is Nathan Phillips. He's a Native American. He was a part of that Indigenous march I was just telling you about. And on the left, you see, I swear, when I look at this boy's smirk, I swear nothing but wickedness and evil just comes from it. And then you look in the background and you see a bunch of white boys in the back. And you probably can't tell. It is kind of cut off. But if you look at that hat, is that red cap that says "Make America Great Again." I'm telling you, I hate seeing those damn hats. I really do. Especially after 45 had just got elected. I used to see them all the time, like constantly, over and over again. I still see them, not as much, especially with me working at the airport, and you see them travel in groups and whatnot. You see it quite often. I actually saw a boy with one on today. But anyway, this guy was at the march, and he was banging on a drum, and he was saying his chant and whatnot in his native tongue. And in the video, you can see the white boys in the background literally recording him and laughing at him, like you see the one right here in the right here, constantly just like laughing at him and making jokes and everything like that. And the one guy right here is just smirking in his face. Now, according to the article, Nathan Phillips was actually trying to get past this boy, but the boy was just standing there smirking in his face. You know what it almost looks like? He almost looked like a purge mask. In that movie, the purge mask that they would wear, that's what his face looks like. It looks like a purge mask. And that was scary enough. But he was trying to get past, and he wasn't letting him pass. But the boys in the video, they were chanting, build that wall, and whatnot. Now, this guy is a 64-year-old Native American, which means he's native to this land. The same land that this boy and the other boy's ancestors came over and stole from them and claimed as their own. And then gave $5. I forgot what the name of the organization was, but they gave $5 up to claim themselves as Native Americans so they can get the money and live off those reservations. Like I said, I've never come across in my life a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Native American, and I never ever will. And nor will I ever say that that's what they are. But all they needed back then was $5, and boom, they were a quote unquote Indian. It's very disturbing, because these are the same group of people who love to say that their rights are being infringed on, or people are trying to take something away from them, and they pull stunts like this all the time. They love to claim that they are the biggest victims, that they're always being victimized. But if you look at this image right here and you look at the video, you can tell that they are the ones being the perpetrators. They're the ones being the bullies, but then like to claim the victim. It doesn't work like that. It can't work both ways, but they would hope that it does. They want it to be that way. Like, I'm looking at it right here, and it says that uh they were preventing him from moving. They had just came from another march. They came from that March for Life, the one I was just telling you about, the one about pro-life and whatnot. And also, I thought it was very interesting that they said that the boys came from Kentucky. And every time I like to talk about Kentucky, I always like to bring up a certain county. That county being Owsley County, Kentucky. If y'all never got a chance to look up Owsley County, go ahead and type it into Google and look at how filthy that town is. That town is predominantly white. I don't think it's not, I think it is mostly all white. I don't know one black person that lives in Owsley County, Kentucky. It's probably not a black person that would even let alone travel through Owsley County, Kentucky. But that place is just as dirty and filthy, and it's not a lot of people living there. It's run down. It's raggedy. It's like a trailer park town without the trailer parks. There might be some trailer parks there, but it's just dirty and filthy. And those individuals there constantly vote conservative and Republican, and those Republicans don't do a damn thing for them, but they keep voting for them anyway. Now that is an example of a group of people who vote against their own interest. And if you didn't know, Owsley County is also referred to as the welfare capital of the establishment, meaning that most of the people who are on welfare and food stamps, government assistance, WIC, EBT, live in Owsley County, Kentucky. When I found out that bit of news, I could not wait to put that on blast. That's why I became so enthralled with that county. Not because I like it, because I couldn't dare like something that looked like that. But it's the fact that whenever white people love to bring up how black people are on this and we're on that, I always go back to that county right there. And they usually shut up after that, or they'll try to find another talking point to deflect. But yeah, back to this. The is a very indicative sign that individuals like them, like I've said in my other videos, they get this from home. They were literally making fun of this man for embracing his culture and his heritage, mainly because they wish their culture and heritage could do that. This guy had more rhythm banging his drum and chanting while they were standing there than they probably had the whole time they were making fun of him. They were probably off beat doing that. Couldn't find the rhythm. That's probably why they mad. The man was beating on the drum and they couldn't find the rhythm. And they were literally standing there surrounding the guy like he was in, like they were in a gang. All you saw was all these white boys who couldn't be over the age of 18 wearing these Make America Great Again hats, looking like a bunch of drones, surrounding this man while he's trying to get through and enjoy the rest of the march that was made for him. That was called the Indigenous March. It was for the natives, not for them. But they came from their march, which was, for them or anyone who was pro-life, and went to their march just to mess with not only him, but they probably mess with other people too. That's why I say they don't know anything about boundaries. And I bet you they probably come from a privileged background as well. So they don't know a struggle. I swear most white people in this establishment do not know a struggle. And if they do, by some sheer chance, if they do, then they'll try to impose on someone else's struggle to make it seem like they are better than them when they are not. I swear, LBJ put it into their head that if they could convince the lowest of the low white person that they were better than the best black person, then that's all they needed. Ingrained that into their head and they ran with it. I can't remember if it was LBJ that said it or somebody else, but I think it was him that said it. But yeah, when I was looking at this, I was like, I felt bad for the guy. I really did. I really felt bad for this man. Because it's like he did not come all the way from his tribe, and I think they say he's from Omaha, Nebraska. He did not come all the way from Omaha, Nebraska to come to DC to enjoy that march with his people, to have to run into these punk ass uh 45 supporters to interrupt what he had going on. And they came all the way from Kentucky to go to one thing just to go over to their stuff and mess with them. It's but it is what it is. Now, if this old man, and it's interesting. They picked the older gentleman to go after. They picked an elderly man to go after. I know they would not have ran up on one of them young natives that would have been able to defend themselves. But they ran up on the 64-year-old man. That says a lot too. But y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.